Right, a new book. I was going to use it for something else, but the pages are a bit naff when you wet them. They go wobbly, so I'm using it for quotes and a few other ideas that I've got. And here I'm just taking the middle pages out of signatures, so there's enough space for it to grow. There's enough between each sheets. And there I made a piece of paper just slightly bigger than each page, sellotaped them together top and bottom, left a gap in between so they'll slip over, so it can be used again and again. I got matte medium and went over the stitching and the holes, which waterproofs it, which stops it from seeping through as much. Right, that was a Tattered Angels and a Dylusion spray. This was a stencil that I got in the post that they'd folded in half, so I warmed it up to straighten it out. If you do it very, very carefully. Cat Anne's got a really good video on doing it. And I've got one in pipeline somewhere. I sprayed through the stencil and I'm just cleaning the puddles off the stencil. I pressed it on the other side. Cleaning the puddles off and going around the outside. And what I do after spraying, I put a drip of water on the eye of the sprayer and clean it off so it doesn't dry sticky and doesn't spray anymore. Here I've got normal craft matte craft paint, watering it down and applying it with a spatula thing, painting knife thing. You can see what it is, and you scratch it over, but you don't mix your paint right well, and you get these white marks. And then I just, before it had fully dried, I wet it so it would bleed a little bit more. Here I'm getting Diner and mixing it with some of the Dylusions to make it not run, but if it gets wet again it won't run, because the Diner, the acrylic paint, sets it because you're mixing it in. And I was using the same stencil and smudging the other colours off it, so because it's still water soluble, what was left on the stencil, so I got it mixed in. This is not black, it's licorice, normal acrylic paint, and I'm just stenciling on with a very similar stencil. I should have put them on the other side really. This ended up being changed a bit, but I did the Diner and the Dylusions mixed together, as you can see, and then when it's dry it sets it, so it alters the colour. And then I very quickly, scruffily, went round the outside with the licorice, and then added some of the gold Tattered Angels into it and put it in the middle of it, so it was darker on the outsides and a bit of goldy shine on the insides. This is doing Cat Hands, Winky Wonky writing. I can't remember what it's called. It's where you draw lines and then when you put your writing in, you fill. What the heck was that? Sorry, somebody was yelling. So here I'm going in with the orange Diner. I think it's orange gold, and it looked a bit boring. So what I did was this is transparent acrylic ink, and I went over in places with orange, red and yellow and blended it in so it was darker and lighter, and it tints without covering it up, so it's still nice and shiny and glowy, but it just tints it different colours. And then I'm using a Posca pen to go around the outsides, and when I get further down I had a bit of a problem because it didn't stand out enough, but I'll show you what I did with that to sort of fix it. That's why I was saying I should have done that licorice stenciling on the other side. Right, these are like tie-dyed with Sharpies. Mick will put an iCard in so you can see how I do that because I've done another video on it. This is liquid enamels or something like that. It's not liquid pearls, it's like a see-through one, and I put beads down, flicked it underneath so the peaks came off it, let it dry. They'll come back again in a minute. This was a die cut that I did on a scrap piece of paper. It's all them are supposed to be on like a little bordery thing, but I just wanted the leaves, I didn't want the border. So I used matte medium, water and Dylusion sprays, and then when it dries it's obviously waterproof. When I got down, painted everything, got down to the last bit of colour, I added a bit more darker Dylusions, and then again a bit more darker Dylusions, so while the paint was still wet, so it smeared nicely. Here I'm arranging them and tacking them down with matte medium, just tacking them in place, because I want some under, some over, and some in between, and sort of wiggly weaving in and out. And if I'd just glued everything down to a page, it wouldn't have worked out like that. So now I'm going over the back and making sure everything's glued down thoroughly, but so I don't glue all the petals down. It's thoroughly glued down, but there's just a little bit of lift to it, which creates a little bit of shadow, and it's quite pretty. I'm quite pleased with it. This is how I got it to stand out. I went round with a white gel pen and smudged it with my finger where it wasn't standing out, because it was basically black on very, very, very dark brown, nearly black. So I just smudged it out a little bit, and then when I go back over it with the black, it really does stand out a lot better. See, it's much better, isn't it, Mick? That butterfly, ignore it, it was just something that I was messing with the purple one, it was too similar to the back. This is another die cut that I'm dissecting. I will use the rest of the die cut in other things, because it's got some pretty swirls and whirls and 2 other butterflies. Again, I'm setting the Dylusions with the Dyna paint, just making sure that it all gets covered, but then I'll go over it with something else when I put it in the book anyway, so just to brighten it up a bit. But I did basically just what I did with the leaves. I decided the butterfly was too see-through, it needed some black behind it, so I cut out that bit that goes behind it, that bit there, and coloured in the bits that needed to be black. And this is Pitt Artist pen, a fine one, which is really good for going around really tiny things. Brush pen. It's like the big brush markers, but obviously small. Glued it all down with matte medium, lots of matte medium. Right, what I've done here is I've got a double-sided piece of sticky tape, stuck it to a little piece of craft mat, and then I'm going over, I missed one out so you can see the difference, I'm going over them with Dyna and then purple Pitt pen, and if you see it there, it didn't screenshot right well, I had to hold it up under the camera, and it were a bit, it needed tilting really, because they look like cat's eyes when they're done. They like glow, but I'll do another video because I want to test out a few other colours, and this was all in that purple colour that video and cameras and stuff just, it doesn't like taking pictures of. Went round it with a Pitt pen, and this is a black Pitt pen. This is day-glo, yeah, day-glo, transparent acrylic paint that I just go over the butterflies with, and it really makes them pow, pop, pow. Right, I hope you enjoyed the close-ups, I hope you like it. Looking forward to doing more in this book. If you can, share it. It does my channel a world of good, and obviously encourages me to carry on, well, us both to carry on, because it's a two-jointed thing is this. So yeah, if you can share it, or if you don't know how to share, just verbally tell somebody, you know, my channel name or something. Give it a thumbs up. If you get any help out of it or inspiration, give us a thumbs up. It only takes a second to hit that thumb up button and it does me a lot of good. Tell me what you think. Subscribe if you're new. I do lots of different things, not just art journaling, a lot of different things. If you go back and have a look through my videos, there's loads of stuff in there. Something for everybody, isn't there, Michael? Eh? He's shy now. Yeah, he's gone shy. Right, as I said, let us know what you think of it. Hope you're all doing well and happy and arting. That's about it, really, isn't it? Oh, I'll say goodbye. Take care, everybody. Bye. Go on, you can either say goodbye or hit pause. Go on. Hit pause. Hit pause.